Hi guys, my name is Tony, and I decided that I wanted to get in some shape, some kind of shape, some better shape. I'm already a shape. Round is a shape. I thought that it would be kind of cool for me to share what I'm doing, my weight loss journey with you guys. I'm going to be talking to you guys about my progression every single day. Uh, I've gone back and forth with my weight for my whole life, and I decided to sort of keep myself accountable and maybe provide, a little bit of you know, inspiration, I guess, for people out there that are trying to do the same thing. A little bit about myself. I am a type 2 diabetic, and because of that, I've chosen to do a diet that I've had a lot of success with in the past, of course, and then I lose my path. And that is it's low carb, and specifically Atkins. A lot of people have suggested keto. I don't necessarily do well with keto. There's a lot of math. I'm not a math guy. So I'm basically going to be doing the Atkins induction phase. 20 net carbs. And of course, for those of you that have never done a low carb diet, net carbs is basically total carbohydrates minus grams of fiber, minus any sugar alcohols. Now, there's some argument about whether you should include sugar alcohols or not. I try to stay away from maltitol. That's the only sugar alcohol I try to stay away from because it does spike my blood sugar. So I just wanted to check in with you here. This is day one for me. And so even if I'm 6 months into this, this could still be day one for you if you're finding this. And hopefully if you kind of follow along with me every day, you can see my struggles, my successes, and maybe find some, some inspiration from that. Day one for me, weight was 284.5. In the past, I have been as high as 319, which is right around the time I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Those two things definitely went hand in hand. So I'm at 284.5 right now. And I just want to sort of break down my first day. There are a few goals that I have. Number one is to stay under the 20 grams of carbs. Number two is I'm not really counting calories, but I am using the Lose It app, which keeps track of calories for me. And I do like to sort of keep it between the lines a little bit. I could sit here and eat, an entire wheel of cheese and be under my carbs, but that's still a lot of calories. So I'm kind of sticking to both. I'm also doing intermittent fasting. So that's my next goal. I usually don't eat until I go home for lunch, which is about 1 o'clock. And I usually will eat until about 8 o'clock in the evening. So I really only eat for about 7 hours. If I'm really hungry, I'll stretch it out to 8 hours and eat until about 9 o'clock in the evening. And I usually don't go to sleep until around midnight or later, kind of a night owl. So that's my period of eating from about 1 until about 8 or 9. Okay. And my other goal is to drink a lot of water. It's something that I'm really bad at, and it's good for my kidneys. It's good for my body, and I need to do that. So my first day of eating, I just wanted to sort of break it down for you. I ended up with hitting the 20 carbs, and I was well under a reasonable amount of calories. I don't even think I hit 2,000. So one thing that I'm going to try to break, and I've noticed it with keeping track of this stuff, I want to consume fewer carbs from coffee creamer. I use a sugar-free vanilla coffee creamer, and it is giving me 4 to 6 grams of carbs, depending on how much I use. Day one, 6 grams of carbs from my sugar-free coffee creamer. It's a lot. It's too much. My first meal was lunch. My wife, who is awesome, made me a spinach wrap. It's a Mission Carb Balance spinach tortilla with some Kirkland turkey breast, which has no carbs. It has like 1 carb, but for like a lot. A quarter cup of shredded Monterey Jack cheese, a little serving of homemade ranch dressing that my wife makes out of almond milk. There's nothing in it. There's no carbs. And I will share her recipe for that at a later date. And for dessert, I had these amazing Quest peanut butter cups. If you haven't had Quest products and you're trying to do low carb, they are great. I'm going to be sharing a lot of the different Quest products that I've used. They're all really good. And that was my first meal. It clocked in about 400 calories, 415 calories, and 5 carbs. So I was at 11 for the day. For dinner, I had 9 carbs and a very hefty 1,200 calories in this one meal. But that is because it was mostly focused on these little mini roll-ups, mozzarella and sopressata. That clocked in at 6 grams of carbs. It came in a multi-pack from Costco, and it was prosciutto and sopressata. The sopressata had carbs. It was delicious, but the prosciutto doesn't. So that's something I'm going to be looking out for in the future. And then I also had 2 Oscar Mayer Angus beef hot dogs. They are delicious. I'm a weirdo. I like to eat cold hot dogs. So I just had a couple of cold beef hot dogs, and they're half a carb each. So I was 1 carb. My dessert was 2 cups of these First Street brand Jello, sugar-free Jello parfaits. We get them from Smart and Final. And I'll show you all about them at some point. It's like Jello with whipped cream, and they are only 1 carb and 25 calories each. They're delicious. I had 2 of those. And I'm kind of a night snacker. It's a big problem for me. So I decided to eat right before the end of my fasting, but I didn't want to add a bunch of carbs in because I was out of carbs. So I decided to have 2 slices of 0 carb bread, which I'll share with you in a future video. It's not great, but it's the best low carb bread I've had. It's 0 carbs. And I put some butter on there, which of course has no carbs. And that was the end of day 1. Day 1 was easy. Day 2, we'll see. I usually hit a wall around day 3. But that's it for my day 1 wrap up. I'll check in with you again tomorrow. Weight, food, and hopefully some exercise here at some point. Like and subscribe if you want. Follow me, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.